It's your favorite YouTube dealer. I appreciate you guys for stopping in. We got something that Drake dropped that I heard about like a day or two ago. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know why I haven't checked it out yet, but it's called the Fighting Irish Freestyle. And of course, I'm hearing the word that he's taking some shots on this, which doesn't necessarily surprise me. So let's just get into it. Let's see what that man was cooking with.
I love you.
Yeah. The summer is over, I missed it. Barrel was smoking, I kissed it. Fair showed us the renters for Texas, it's unrealistic. Cut him the check, cause I hate reviewing the budgets and limits. Just pay the man. The world fell in love with the gimmicks, even my brothers got tickets. Seemed like they loved every minute. Just know the shit is personal to us and it wasn't just business. Analyzing behavioral patterns is somewhat suspicious. Niggas was never happy for me when I run up the digits, or when I'm breaking world records still as I guzzle a Guinness.
Okay, so I assume that that is in reference to everything going on with the Kendrick situation, right? Because Kendrick hit some crazy numbers, especially with Not Like Us, and he's getting love and all sorts of stuff from it. I'm pretty sure because of all of that is probably why he ended up getting invited to the Super Bowl. And he's like, yo, ain't nobody celebrating me when I be hitting these different digits and shit like that. Drake gets a lot of shit. Don't get me wrong. Like, I personally thought that Drake was going to win that battle in the beginning, and then I felt like Kendrick took it. But it does not take away from the fact that when Drake raps, bro, this man is nice. Like, he's nice. Like, you cannot take that from him. Now, as far as who won the battle, I know there's been debates that have been going on, and they probably will for as long as rap is a thing, which will be forever. And some people feel like Drake took it, especially with Family Matters, which I did think it was really dope. I'm not going to go into depth about why I think this or that, but if you haven't seen the reactions, they are all up on my channel. You guys can get my opinion through that. Regardless, it was a fun battle. At the end of the day, I just feel as a hip hop fan, I feel like I got something this year. You know what I'm saying? I got something in 2024 from all of this, and I am appreciative of that, if nothing else.
My brothers got tickets, seemed like they loved every minute. Just know the shit is personal to us and it wasn't just business.
Wait, hold up.
Just pay the man. The world fell in love with the gimmicks, even my brothers got tickets.
Oh, the world fell in love with the gimmick. Ooh. The world fell in love with the gimmicks. Even my brothers got tickets. Seems like they loved every minute. I didn't even catch this on the first way through. So again, this is most likely referencing the Kendrick thing. Kendrick saying certain shit about him, the whole, A minor, like different shit like that. And he's calling that a gimmick and said, even my brothers got tickets, which means like even people that I looked at as like, you's the homie, the bro, like we cool and shit like that. But they dove in and they ended up going to that side of shit. And I want to say one of the most prominent ones was probably LeBron James, right? Because does he have a tattoo of LeBron? Is that what it is that I think I had heard or some shit like that? But they was mad cool, and LeBron was heavy bumping Kendrick's shit, which it's got to feel a little bit like some disrespect. I'm not going to lie to you.
Seemed like they loved every minute. Just know the shit is personal to us and it wasn't just business.
Facts.
Analyzing behavioral patterns is somewhat suspicious. Niggas was never happy for me when I run up the digits.
And I assume he's saying analyzing behavioral patterns is somewhat suspicious, meaning like they're trying to say that he's got certain behavioral patterns is what I'm guessing, given the whole A minor thing. And he's on a stage with a girl that's 17 and gave her a kiss. Different shit like that is what I assume he's alluding to.
Or when I'm breaking world records still as I guzzle a Guinness. Or when I get my fifth made back cause the color is different. Remember we traded watches, I gave you the Arabic dial, you gave me a numbered edition. You would even check up on my son like a pediatrician. Sure convinced the gang that shit was rooted in love when it isn't. Show me how different we are, there's blessings in juxtaposition. I guess now you boys gotta abandon your summer tradition. Cold shoulders I gave in the Hamptons, it come with the distance. Figured we was always gonna be close like ovens and kitchens. I was sadly mistaken, the loyalty wasn't a given. It's all good.
I like how it's kind of him performing it, just sitting there, and he's, yo, it's all good. Let me take a real quick sip, and then just continue to cook.
Niggas cry the blues for you saying it wasn't malicious. Talking about we family, well, I'm not the cousin to visit. God forbid we ever gotta tarnish your public image. All that brother talk as if I really discovered a sibling. 6 degrees, my memories retrieving our humble beginnings. Niggas wanted trouble, grabbed a shovel and dug up some ditches. Cover my body in dirt, but that wasn't me. That wasn't me. That was a body double and we've done dozens of switches. Niggas tried to light the front gate up, it wasn't for Christmas.
Whoo! I like that. Yo, his writing is so on point. And again, I've said this a million times over. It's because his vocabulary is as strong as it is. His vocabulary is what allows him to write at the level that he writes at. Obviously, it takes other shit too, and him being good is not just because of that, but the vocabulary allows him to really just kind of speak to you in a way that is going to be very understandable, relatable, all sorts of shit. But he's talking about that right there, the Christmas bar, and try to light up the gate. He's talking about the people that try to shoot up his mansion.
Well, and we've done dozens of switches. Niggas tried to light the front gate up, it wasn't for Christmas. I said a prayer that morning for Sean, and it wasn't religious. It came from a place of desperation and utter submission. Rapping was over for now, it came like a sudden decision. I don't give a fuck about you snakes or these other musicians. Niggas started fucking with my family, I'm going to prison. And we all crashing out together, my brother's complicit. Who put a pipe bomb in your trunk? It was an exhibit. I'm trying to blow the doors off that bitch when you touch the ignition. But then I gotta remember who made this shit come to fruition. It's me. Who's got the most?
Ooh, I see. And then also taking accountability. I like that. I like that. So first of all, the whole exhibit bar with the pipe bomb and shit is fine. I assume that has to do with the whole exhibit being a Pimp My Ride in the past on MTV for anyone that does not know. But I like how he says, like, he's thinking about all this shit, but then he thinks, who's the one that brought this to fruition? It's me. And it's because he's the one that jumped out and threw the first full-on diss and was like, yo, respond. Like, he was baiting him and continuing to push and nudge and poke and trying to get that response back. And he ended up getting it. Now, did he spark the initial shot necessarily? No. Like, him and J. Cole had the song, right? Which I don't think that they alluded to anybody, but then Kendrick dropped with Future and whoever, Metro Boomin and shit, and he basically said, who's the big three? F the big three is just Big Me, right? And it's like, okay, you could consider that a shot. It's not the biggest thing in the world, but Drake was like, hey, yo, I feel like responding. Like, if that's what you want to do, I'm in that mood right now. And so he went extra hard to get Kendrick to come out and say some shit. And so, right, it's one of those things where you take accountability to an extent where it's like, all right, I can't be all that mad about it because I pushed for this shit to happen. You know what I mean?
Out together, my brother's complicit. Who put a pipe bomb in your trunk? It was an exhibit. I'm trying to blow the doors off that bitch when you touch the ignition. But then I gotta remember who made this shit come to fruition. It's me. Who's got the most to lose and who's in that other position? Signal conversations where I hope they got double encryption. I hate to see the empire crumble on judges' convictions. This nigga pulled a rabbit out the hat and y'all love a magician. It's funny to see you all rejoicing and hugging and kissing.
He said he pulled a rabbit out the hat and y'all love a magician. And again, that alludes to the whole, like, because right, it's like, yo, there's nothing here, but here's a rabbit. I just made it appear out of thin air. And that's his way of saying, like, a lot of the accusations, a lot of the things that came with it, the whole, you know, you a pedo, it's probably A minor, like all that shit. I'm trying to think of the best way to put it, but he's basically saying, like, all that shit is someone just pulling a rabbit out of a hat. They're creating something out of nothing. And y'all love magicians. Y'all love people that got that ability to completely deceive you by taking advantage of your perception. Right? Like that's exactly what he's saying right there. I like this. And it's so smooth.
Double encryption. I hate to see the empire crumble on judges' convictions. This nigga pulled a rabbit out the hat.
And I'm curious if he's saying, I hate to see the empire crumble off judges' convictions and hope they got double encryption, because he's talking about the fact that he believes that they boosted their numbers on Spotify and stuff. So he's saying, whatever it is that you guys use to talk about it, I hope you got that shit mad encrypted, because I'd hate to see y'all fall over this.
To lose and who's in that other position. Signal conversations where I hope they got double encryption. I hate to see the empire crumble on judges' convictions. This nigga pulled a rabbit out the hat and y'all love a magician. It's funny to see you all rejoicing and hugging and kissing. What are we celebrating? I'll rent out the club at Edition. Nothing was the same with all you bitches and nothing's forgiven. But next time, bury me in gold. My blood is Egyptian. The Dennis James come out when the vodka is flooding my system. I don't have a drinking problem. I got a subtle addiction. I got my father's habits and I got my mother's permission. My dad has another child. I told him that wasn't my sister. Grew up with dozens of Jews, churches with dozens of Christians. Also developed a deep respect for the Muslim religion. I'm staring at my daddy while y'all tell me I wasn't that nigga. That's fucking crazy.
Hold up, I didn't really catch what he meant by the end of that right there.
The child, I told him that wasn't my sister. Grew up with dozens of Jews, churches with dozens of Christians. Also developed a deep respect for the Muslim religion. I'm staring at my daddy while y'all tell me I wasn't that nigga.
Like, I don't know exactly what he means by that. I'm staring at my daddy while y'all tell me I wasn't that nigga. He means something right there. I don't know exactly what, but this was dope. This shit was fire.
That's fucking crazy.
Is there anybody that people thinks he took a shot at that I may have missed or I didn't like grasp it? Because there might be some more shit in there. There's a lot of people that kind of, I wouldn't say turn their back on him. I guess you can consider some of that being people turning their back on him, but some of it was just, it just is what it, you know what I mean? Like people just jumping out and waiting for him to have a moment where they feel like he's going to go down and they're trying to take advantage of it. And they never were his boy in the first place. But I know people like LeBron James and shit, as far as I know, used to be relatively close to Drake, and they used to celebrate each other and shit like that. And then all of a sudden, he went hard for Kendrick. At least it seemed like it, right? Like him listening to it doesn't mean that he's going super hard for Kendrick. For him, it could just be like, yo, this is some dope shit. Kendrick dropped some fire. It was the better fire, so I'm bumping that. And to him, it might not mean much more in his head. Like I don't know his thought process, but I can understand how you would take that if that's someone that you feel like you developed a relationship with and you were close with, and now all of a sudden they over on the enemy side. And not only that, but they're bumping songs that are literally calling you a pedo and saying shit that will ruin your entire life. Forget just your career, your life. So I think it's justified to feel some type of way about that. But this shit went hard, bro. This shit went harder than it probably needed to. Let me know what y'all thought down below. I'm a little bit late on this. I do apologize. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe. We're going to be doing much more reactions. Anytime beef happens, you know we on it too, like 100%. So take it easy, stay safe. I will catch you in the next one, homies.